Gentleman yields back. Chair now recognizes Dr. Gosar for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a former dentist, I know how important HIPAA compliance is for the doctor-patient trust. When customers sign up for testing like 23andMe, they paid for the service, not the storage and continued research of their DNA. But at the minimum, American data shouldn't leave America's hands. China has already said it wants to create a database of genetic data to build bioweapons. If we're questioning whether our adversaries are going to use this genetic data to create a bioweapon against Americans, then quite frankly, this data collected from Americans should be destroyed, not stored. Mr. Sasavage, how does 23andMe store customers' data? Is it physical or digital, or both?
Congressman, it's both. I mean, 23andMe stores the digital data, and as Ms. Wojcicki mentioned, and I did in my statement, security and data privacy is a top priority for the company. All of that data is stored in an encrypted format. And if customers do choose to biobank their sample with a consent, the physical saliva sample is maintained as well.
Okay, so when a customer requests our data to be erased, what kind of data is erased?
All of the data that they have in a digital format, with the exception, of their name, email address, and purchase information, is erased from the company's data records. In addition, if they had consented to biobank their sample, that physical sample is also destroyed.
So now, in 2019, the Department of Defense advised our service members not to avoid these types of DNA kits due to the security concerns. Can you address that, why that would be?
I am not familiar with why they requested that service members not do the personal DNA test.
So let me ask you the next question. Have you ever participated in a 23andMe test? Is your data at risk too?
My data is at risk. I first joined 23andMe in 2013 and have done subsequent tests on new health chips with 2013 and have continued to maintain my personal data and have not deleted it, and I continue to biobank my sample with 23andMe.
Ms. Wojcicki, that's it wrong?
No worries.
Okay.
That's perfect.
I tell everybody I speak two languages, one not so good, and that one is English. As a former CEO and board member of 23andMe, do you have access to the customer's data?
I do not.
Who would be accessible to that data? Who could get to that data?
That is a great question. And as I mentioned before, privacy and data security was always top of mind when I was CEO at 23andMe. So we came up with very strict protocols about how you could ever link up genetic information with the identifiable information. So that was if you think about how our databases were set up, all of your personal information, meaning your name, your address, your email, was in a separate database that was stored separately that very few people could connect it then with the genetic information. So from a database design, it was separated out. So a few people within the company had the ability to put that key together. So for example, imagine if you were a customer and you didn't get the right results, or you have a question about something, or you're wondering, something does not make sense to you, you would have to be able to call the customer care team, and they would have to be able to analyze your results. So only in very specific situations would we ever be able to reconnect that. And so I should also be clear, when we did research, identifiable information like your name, your address, your email was never part of that. And none of the partners that we ever had any identifiable information.
So when I see a data like this, hackers got nearly 7 million people's data from 23andMe, firm blamed users in a very dumb move. I wanted to put this to the record. Could you address this?
Yes. So the situation that happened there, and we have said before to our customers and everything that happened, that there was a deep apology for everything that has happened here. It was a credential stuffing, so it was not actually a breach of our systems. It was credential stuffing, and what that actually means is that the threat actor found old addresses, email addresses, and passwords on the dark web, and they ran them against 23andMe, and they found a number of customers where they actually could enter into their accounts. So it was specific, it was a credential stuffing incident, and through that, they were able to actually get access to their account. Since then, we've made pretty substantial changes. So in response, we immediately wanted to learn from this. So we forced all of our customers to reset their password. So every single customer had to go and reset their password. And then secondly, we had double-factor authentication, which was mandated. And we had actually had two-factor authentication for a while, but it was not mandated because it was not industry standard.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.